Trinity Hills, I feel so excited every time I get the opportunity to enter into the forest, any forest. The Trinity Hills holds so much for me.
It's a beautiful place. It's a place that you can explore.
In relation to the Trinity Hills and the First Peoples, the Amerindian people, it's a significant one as a monumental space because it was one of the areas that was inhabited by the Amerindians as a village, as a town. And this is a few thousand years ago, and up till a few hundred years ago would have also been one of the sacred sites for the indigenous people because of how the hills connect.
In protecting the Trinity Hills, you protect not just the heritage, you protect the environment, the purine environment, you protect the animals that come there to reproduce. You have a sense of having accomplished something when your community can be really involved in something like that.
Growing up in Moruga was an adventure. I was born between the ocean and the forest, and that just created that atmosphere that I can be free and enjoy everything that nature had to offer. And for that reason, I got into this job of forestry. I work in the National Park section of Trinidad and Tobago, where we have various sites that we protect and ensure the public can enjoy these areas and the nation as a whole gets to enjoy the resources.
It's important to protect the Trinity Hills because it's part of our history, a part of our culture. You have that whole story of Columbus sighting land, and he saw the three hills and decided to call it the Three Sisters, or La Trinity.
It is assumed that Moruga was the place that Columbus and his men came ashore to draw water and to water the ship and boat. However, Columbus himself didn't come off the boat, but his men did.
The problem faced at Trinity Hills are poaching, you have illegal use of the land, you have illegal plantations, and these have all impacted in one way or the other on the Trinity Hills.
The main threat in my view is the uncontrolled squatting. They're clearing lands at a large scale. We have squatting holdings that are upwards of 90 acres within the forest reserve. And as soon as the soil appears to be less fertile, they clear a new spot.
It is important to preserve the authenticity of nature and all that exists in the Trinity Hills and leaving it untouched as a sanctuary for posterity, to aid in the fight against climate change. Also, it is a space that should be honored and respected because it's one of the spaces that the flora and fauna of our culture has their freedom, and definitely it should not be tampered with for agricultural means. I mean, Moruga already has thousands of acres for agricultural purpose, and having an area reserved, the Trinity Hills in particular, only adds to the better development of our climate and sustaining our climate today in a world that climate change is, very important.
The Trinity Hills have changed a lot from my childhood days to now because it coexists with an industrial estate. And before, you would have more, should I say, forest areas with a lot of the right-of-ways that they have opened up to connect to the trains at Point Lisas and Couva and these areas. You have had some spillage, oil spillage, and because of the depth, forest depth that these spillage are, not many people know about them.
If it weren't for agencies trying to protect the Trinity Hills, the squatting they would just continue to encroach. The hunters would go in and hunt non-stop. We have over 80 species of trees in every acre in our forest. We may lose some of those species entirely. We have come across more than 150 trees, large trees, were felled and removed from that sanctuary area. When you clear 50 acres of forest, that takes away a lot more habitat and does more damage to the wildlife, to the animals that need the forest to live. So our effort is needed, and a greater effort is needed.
I am hoping that with all that we are doing through FAO, Food and Agricultural Organization, along with community programs like my Back There Foundation and what we do, trying to make the children aware, that eventually it would lead to a better understanding of the Trinity Hills and, should I say, minimize the impact, those negative impacts. So we'll have a little more positivity, because I see a great opportunity for tourism in that area.
My hope for Moruga, number one, is that Moruga is recognized in its full potential and capacity of what it really is, based on its historical contributions to this country and in relation to the natural environment where we have the Trinity Hills and our beautiful lush green forest. I would love those forested areas to remain preserved.
My hope for the future, and for my children, and for all children in Trinidad and Tobago, is that they would be able to enjoy the resources that we have, the natural resources. They would be able to see Trinity Hills, the place that identifies Trinidad, gives Trinidad his name, right? And so, to preserve that so that my children will be able to see it and their children will be able to see it. That is motivation enough to protect what we have.